I just want to say that I love you, and I'm so honored to be here, and thank you so much. I want to ask everyone to put their hands up. It's a power position. It's something we learned at Harvard. It makes you strong, increases your self-esteem. So my name is Shalhavit-Simcha Cohen, and I'm sharing with you for the first time, the first official time, I'm going to be sharing a mistake that I did. But first I want to share with you some information. So this is me. I am obsessed with health. As you could see, there are competitions that I've won and medals, and being very, very into fitness and physical health. But something I'm very, very passionate about, and I've been very involved with a project, a class at Harvard University called the Happiness Class. Professor Tal Ben-Shahar takes research from the field of positive psychology, so studies on basically mental health, so studies on optimism, on motivation, and self-esteem, and communication, relationships, and kind of put it into a class. It was the most popular class at Harvard. And one of the things that we've been studying about is actually studied by Steven Pinker, who studies evolution psychology at Harvard. And I wanted to ask you to think of what is the number one most attractive figure, what is the most attractive thing for us as human beings, the most attractive thing that we're into in other people? Smile? Okay, so it varies from men to women in different aspects of the scale, but the number one on the scale, both for men and women, is kindness. And I find that amazing. A research done by Professor David Schnarch, he followed 17 years happily married couples. And basically by the way, the book that he wrote, Passionate Marriage, is maybe the most popular book about relationships and the most highly recommended book for any relationship. You have to read it. It's a very, very, very recommended book for relationships. But one of the things that he found studying and following couples that went through crisis, for example, the 1929 economic crisis in the United States, people that went through crisis and actually stayed together. You know, a lot of relationships break up after crisis, but people that stay together have a lot of features that we can see that are different from those who don't stay together. One of the things that Schnarch shows in the book, he talks about knowing versus validating. Apparently, every relationship has both focus on knowing, which is opening up, getting to know the other person, being authentic, and that is very, very important, and validating, which is making the other person feel good and feeling good about yourself, giving each other good feedback. Apparently, the couples who stayed together had a bigger focus on knowing, on opening up, and authenticity. Another amazing thing is a lecture that you can watch online. It's an hour lecture by Michael Wetch. It was given in 2008 in the Library of Congress, and he talks about the anthropology of YouTube. And he shows us the statistics and numbers of viewers of YouTube and what people watch on YouTube. A lot of blogging, a lot of watching blogs, and compares it to Comcast and television channels. And apparently, he basically finds how the numbers are so dramatically, significantly bigger on YouTube. And one of the stories is of Gary Boltzmann. I don't know if anyone knows this man, but a couple of years ago, he sat in front of his camera, and he just danced from his heart for the Numa Numa song. Gary Boltzmann is not the most attractive, according to today's health figure competition, and he didn't have the famous moves. He totally did his own thing. He was totally being himself, but he became the new cyberstar, and he had over 62,000 video follow-ups that were uploaded. Just people imitating him, but not because they're making fun of him, because they're just so excited on that uniqueness of the authenticity, the just being himself. And that was found to be amazing in his study. John Goodman, that man, John Mordecai Goodman, he was actually the world's leader on the study of divorce. So he basically could look at a couple that just got married, or basically at any point of the relationship, and predict up to 95% if they're going to get divorced or not in the next couple of years. He's following couples who avoiding conflict versus conflicts that are very volatile. So they're yelling at each other and everything. And I don't know if you could guess or not, but apparently the volatile ones stay together for a longer time because they're open, because they communicate, they know each other. We have that thing in our brain that we feel stable when we really know what's happening. Same thing with reality television. That's why it's so popular, because we have that sense of that realness, even if it's staged, but we're looking for that realness. It gives us this good feeling, and evolution kind of made us that way, to want to know what's real. And Jeff, if you're out there, you called this conference You, and you shared with us your personal story. And I found that so attractive, and this is basically why I came here. And I wanted to tell you about me. And so this is 2011. I won Miss Fitness of Israel. I was on the stage. This is a year later, modeling in New York. I chose these pictures because I want you to notice my expressions and what's happening slowly. I've been doing a lot of fitness videos, and you can look at the title of this video and look at one of my thoughts, one of my expressions, talking about not being obsessive. This is me coming home after a run. I don't know if you have friends who keep on posting those on Facebook, but they're kind of worrisome. And this is what I start looking up on Google. I don't know if you could see the address, but that's me at that address. And this was 10 months ago, a little bit more, 11 now. This is one of the notes from the hospital that I've never shared, but these are the notes I'm writing for myself. And it is still a battle that I'm fighting. I'm only 10 months now into this battle. I've never shared this in public yet. People still see me as Miss Fitness. But I wanted to ask you guys and try and think if you do overdo it. And for those of us who count calories all the time, it's a growing phenomenon. And what are the thoughts of anorexia? I just wrote them down to share with you. So skipping meals, trying to think of ways to skip meal, maybe hiding in your room because you just don't want to eat. It's that constant thought of, what is it like to have an eating disorder? It's always wanting to lose more. There's always a little bit more to lose. There's always that belly that's going to bother you. It's never going to stop. It's kind of like a demon. You keep on losing, and your brain, the chemistry in your brain is kind of imbalanced, so you keep on wanting to lose and think that you're going to get more appreciation, which you kind of get, but you keep on feeling less. You keep on feeling small, and that obsession of that very, very low self-image just becomes bigger and bigger. And I'm still healing. So I don't know if it was right to share or not, but I want to share some resources, because most people don't know about that. Also in the hospital, no one knows of these. There's Anorexic and Bulimics Anonymous, 12steps.org, mentorconnect.org, or just Googling eating disorder centers. Amazing places that you could really, really get help. And change is something that has baby steps. It's not easy, but it's a development. And just a moment of my personal project that I'm working on now at Harvard. I'm taking the happiness class. I'm taking the studies on well-being. I know how to get back to it. And turning it into short animated games for the phone, so you can play a game and learn about a wellness topic. I'm really excited about it, and you should look it up. You can follow up with me on Twitter or on Facebook and hear about it. And it's all based on the class and with permission from the professors. And I'm here for questions if you have any later. But I wanted to give you an authenticity challenge because I was authentic and opened up. So try and think of one thing that you could change, a habit that you could change to be happier, and share it with a friend. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.